But could it have been a mistake?
No, it cannot be a mistake, because they hit the door first and then they hit the actual shelter second to make sure that nobody goes out alive.
ITM was taken deep inside the shelter to watch emergency teams recovering more bodies. Here I could freely inspect the damage. There was nothing obvious to suggest this building served as an important military center. I only saw blankets and human debris. Estimates of how many people were sheltering and died here vary widely. It was still fiercely hot many hours after the explosions, and plastic gloves melted into the hands of rescuers. The shelter is now being ventilated by huge pumps so we can see in here and breathe. It is boiling hot. There is a raging inferno somewhere back there, and they're saying that there are still many more corpses to pull out of here. No one may ever know just how many Iraqis were sheltering here during the air raid. Another unrecognizable victim was put into a blanket. I think it was the body of a woman, and they hurried outside with the remains. Distraught, hysterical people watched. At Yarmouk Hospital, young and blistered survivors spoke through the doctor of what happened.
He was asleep. Just all of a sudden there was a big blow, and he got up.
And then?
And then felt that the blankets were burning, and the whole place was smoke and fire. We were covered with a blanket, and we were hit by 2 blows. Rockets. And everything was converted into fire. They're all civilians. This shelter was specially made for civilians, and they thought that they would be in safe haven.
People gathered in Almeria for most of the day, mourning. It is impossible to find out exactly who was in the shelter at the time of the bomb blasts. But Washington's final word on this incident is that if it's Iraq's policy to put civilians into military targets, then Saddam Hussein is responsible for their deaths. Brent Sadler, News at 10, Baghdad. If there was one place of safety to survive the Blitz of Baghdad, it should have been this purpose-built shelter. It was clearly hit twice because the points of bomb entry through thick, reinforced concrete were unmistakable. The explosions at one end of the bunker turned the structure into a giant. The shelter had clearly been hit twice because the points of bomb entry through thick, reinforced concrete were unmistakable. 2 explosions at one end of the bunker turned the structure into a giant, smoke-filled furnace, incinerating its victims. Iraq has been continually protesting high numbers of civilian casualties through Allied bombing. A grotesque procession of human remains. While Iraqis were grieving over their dead, Washington claimed the shelter was an active command and control bunker, feeding instructions to the Iraqi army. The mayor of Baghdad was among officials here. He said this:
I can't tell you what's my reaction. Nobody can comment on that picture.